Thank you for reminding me of that too. So let me go ahead and share my screen. This is one I want you all to have in your toolbox. Okay. And this is called closing the loop. Okay.
Will you be sending this to us?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So this is called closing the loop. Okay. It's dealing with that conflict when something has happened that you're gonna see as it unfolds, and it's that whole we had an argument kind of thing. Okay. So I want to deal with conflict first of all. I want to deal with conflict. And I don't think you I'm looking at my other computer, and that don't look like it's showing too well. I'm not sure if y'all can see that too good. Can y'all see
It
that?
cleared up. It cleared up.
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to get the PowerPoint. I'm going to make sure I share it with you, and I'm going to run through it pretty quickly. But the first thing is you got to understand is that conflict is inevitable. It's going to happen. Okay. And I think I heard it might have been Sister King said that a few minutes ago. You know, you have to also see it as an opportunity. Okay. Healthy couples see conflict as an opportunity. They don't see it, as a bad thing necessarily. If it's handled bad, it's a bad thing. Okay. But it can also be an opportunity. One thing we know is going to happen. Why? Because there are too many sources of it. There's just too many ways for it to happen. Okay. What are some of the ways? Gender, difference between men and women, background differences, personality differences. We like different things. Throw children in the mix. Don't even mention money. Just general disagreements. We all sinful, make bad choices. So there you have it. There are just a number of reasons why conflict happens, not just between two people, but in a marriage too. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. So check out the sequence of events. The first one is called an offense. Something happens. Here's what typically happens. Something happens, somebody's feelings get hurt, and then the natural response is anger. Remember Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26 says, be angry, but sin not. So there are some times when things are going to happen, and yes, you are going to be angry. Sometimes you have a right to be angry. You should be angry, as a matter of fact. Okay? Offense happens, somebody's hurt, anger is the natural consequence, right? Here's what happens though. It's not the anger part that's bad, it's how you respond to your anger. That's what's bad. Okay. You can respond in a healthy way or you can respond in an unhealthy way. That's what's bad, right? We want to help couples understand that you want to choose a healthy response rather than an unhealthy response. Okay. Now, let me stop for a moment because I know y'all know this. I know y'all know this. Tell me an unhealthy response. Something happened, you angry, and what's an unhealthy response, Sister Knighton?
Lashing back.
Lashing back. What's an unhealthy response, Sister King?
Words chose to be used.
Words, words, bad words. What's the unhealthy response, Sister May?
Can't hear
You're on
you.
mute. You're on mute, Sister May.
I was just gonna say yelling, uh,
Yelling, yelling. Very good. Very good, ladies. Spot on. All unhealthy responses. There are more, though. There are more. Okay, let's look at some. Blaming,
Mhm.
blaming, okay? Bringing up the past.
Hmm.
Only when it now you know how we do it. Now we remember when it helps us, okay? You know how we do that. Suppressing the anger, okay? Acting like you're really not angry when you seething. There's Sister May said, explosive, okay? Exploding. Justifying yourself, justifying your own action. These are just some typical unhealthy responses. Here are some others using words like always, never, you know, you don't never do so and so, you always so and so. Killing somebody's character, attacking them personally. They call it cloud covering. Foggy accusations instead of being specific about what really happened. Up in the ante, going tit for tat. Scatterbombing, dropping a whole list of sins on your spouse, including everything in the kitchen sink. Mothballing, putting old grievances in storage and bringing them up at just the right time. And then they saw the passive aggressive one, spitting in the soup. Okay. Those are just a few unhealthy responses. Of course, we know there are many more. Okay. The
Where did you get the
pro-
last one from?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Where did you get that last one from? Color Purple?
Oh, yeah. Probably so, Ed. Probably so. So the problem is these do not close the loop. These do not close the loop. Okay. Well, you want to be able to resolve it so that it does not come back later on. Okay. When it's not resolved, they call it open loop. It's going to come up again. Just give it time. It's going to come up again. Okay. When you respond to it in a healthy way, the goal is to close it. Resolve that, move on. Don't let it be an issue later on in your relationship. So here we go right here. I like this exercise because you use a lot of scripture with it. Okay. And a lot of times couples can see themselves as you walk through this exercise. I mean, there are hardly any times when I do this exercise and they are not totally convicted, you know, because again, it's the human side of us. We all do these kind of things. So here it is. Anger happens, somebody's feelings get hurt. I'm sorry, offense happens, somebody's feelings get hurt, they get angry. Now you want to respond in a proper way. Well, the first thing that you want to help them to understand is before you respond, prepare your heart. It's called heart preparation. Okay. And then scripture says in Psalm 139, 23 and 24. Okay. I'm going to go fast because we're on Zoom, ladies, and I don't want to hold you too long, but Psalm 123 and 124 says, Lord, search my heart, know me, know if there's any wicked way, offensive way in me, and know my anxious thoughts. So there it is. That's the main one. It says heart preparation. Before you even respond, prepare your heart. What's the scripture telling you to do? Check yourself. Check yourself before you respond. Ask God to show you you. What did you contribute to this conflict? Okay. What could you have done differently? Is it all his fault or her fault? Did you have any role in it? Have you taken responsibility for your part of it? That one is called heart preparation. Okay. So before they respond, we're going to teach them heart preparation. Okay. And then 1 Peter 3:8-9 talks about, you know, the whole thing about, you know, do not give insult for insult, but a blessing because you were called to be a blessing. You know, that's just a beautiful passage of scripture. I want you all to look at the scripture in your own time. So you'll see how they connect to each one of these steps. So the first step is heart preparation. Second one, extend and seek forgiveness. That's the second thing that you want to do. Extend and seek forgiveness. Now, here it is right here. Talk to me. What has not happened yet? Remember now, they're in the middle of a conflict. What has not happened yet?
Resolution.
Resolution has not happened yet. What else has not happened yet? Something happened. Somebody done, feelings done got hurt. They done got angry. They prayed about it.
Forgiveness.
Now they're going to extend forgiveness. What has not happened yet?
Accepted forgiveness?
Okay. Now here's what I'm getting at. They have not addressed the person yet.
Oh,
What do you mean address the person?
Okay.
They're in the middle of a conversation, talking to each other. So, okay.
So, okay, let's just say it's a conversation, right?
Mhm.
And that person says something that really ticked you off, right? So when he ticked you off, you didn't respond right away.
Mm,
You did what?
held it in.
You prayed about it. Heart preparation,
Okay.
right? That's the first one. After your heart preparation, you did what?
Forgave them.
Extended forgiveness. Right away. Seek, extend forgiveness. Okay? On the front end. I know it ain't natural. I know it ain't easy, but it's huge. Okay? It's huge. You gotta get that forgiveness on the front end. Okay? Let's go back. Let's go back.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
You said the one thing that had not been done yet was addressing addressing the person, like saying something to that person that offended
Yes.
you.
Yes. That's what I said.
Okay, so up until now, the only thing that's happened is within us, like the one who was offended.
Yes.
All of
You
the
get it.
actions that's been taken has only happened within us.
You dealing with yourself first.
So in this conflict resolution is beyond just, this is in any type of a situation. You can
It
use
is
this in any type of a situation. So beyond like a situation where it's in a marital context, just dealing with conflict resolution between two people, is it always necessary to say something to the other person?
you were
If they
spot
are
on.
unaware, if they're unaware, to what extent, I guess was what I'm asking.
You're saying it right. You're spot on. You're spot on. See, because remember what the heart preparation is about. Okay? What's the heart preparation? Lord, I'm really upset right now.
Mhm.
I don't appreciate that at all. Now, what did I do to bring this on? How did I contribute to it? What role did I play in it? Show me. What's my liability in this? That's the heart preparation. Okay? That's the heart preparation. And then don't forget 1 Peter. This is why the scripture is so important as you're working with it. 1 Peter 8:9. Finally, all of you live in harmony with one another. Be sympathetic. Love as brothers. Be compassionate and humble. Do not repay evil for evil, insult with insult, but with a blessing, because to this you were called, so that you may inherit a blessing. That's
So
what scripture just told you before you even responded. Go ahead, Sister May.
I think and I don't want to put anything, Sister Nine. I think I'm getting a little confused now too. Now, is this the couple that we're talking to, or is this just in general conflict resolution?
It's in general, but it applies particularly, we're talking about the context of marriage.
Okay. So would you separate the people and one of them be getting their heart ready and the other be getting their heart ready, or would you have them together? Because somebody, I mean, no matter what, I mean, it takes two people to fight, but somebody has to start it. Or two.
So you're walking them through when you find yourself in conflict.
I got it. Got it.
Okay. This is how you handle conflict.
Okay, got it now. The conflict may not happen, not right there in front of us, right there.
No, not right in front of you.
Okay, got
They
it.
hold doing life together.
Okay, got it. Because I'm
But they
thinking they
done
got had this big fight.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But if they sitting in front of you, they have probably many times.
Right.
Okay, so now you're explaining to them when you find yourself in this situation, because it's gonna happen again.
Right.
It's gonna hurt your feelings again. You're gonna be angry again.
Got it.
The
Because my
next time-
couple scored low on conflict resolution, so I can take that. I don't have to know what the conflict was.
That's right.
These are
That's
some
right.
things that can, okay, got it.
There you go. When you find yourself angry, don't just respond. That's what get a lot of couples in trouble. You know, they just respond. Don't do that. Pray about it first. Talk to God first before you even talk to the other person. Okay? Who are you going to talk to God about? The other person? No, talk to him about yourself. Okay? Come on, y'all. Y'all know that's what mature Christians do. We ask God about us. Okay? And guess what, Sister Knight? You already said it. Sometime the Lord will say, what? It ain't even all that. Why you all up? That ain't even all that. You need to let it go.
Let it go.
That's why you pray about it first. Sometimes he'll say, you need to let it go. Okay? It is to our scripture says, benefit to overlook an offense. Yeah.
Do all you can to keep peace, stay at peace with your brother.
Right. There you go. There you go. And then here it is. Forgive. We can camp out on that. You know how much damage is done through unforgiveness? We ain't even got time to go into all that. It's huge. It's huge when couples don't forgive each other. When people don't forgive each other. Holding a grudge is huge. Okay? It's huge.
Weighty.
Huh?
And very weighty.
And very weighty. And you have to get them to understand that the forgiveness is not necessarily for the other person, it's for you. It's for you. So step 2, you want to get them just to forgive what has happened. Okay? Forgive. Now, here's where it starts to get interesting. Sometimes you done prayed about it. And God said, it ain't that big a deal. Let it go. And then other times, he might say, what?
Talk to him. Approach him, talk to him.
Yeah, yeah, that is correct. Yeah, you got it. Uh-oh, I didn't share. Hang on, I'm trying to share. Y'all see it?
Loving confrontation.
Loving confrontation. There it is right there. It's called loving confrontation. There it is. You prayed about it. You done forgave them. But the Lord says, don't ignore this one. Okay, so let's talk. Let's talk.
Confront him and do it in love. Do it in love.
So why might the Lord tell you not to ignore it this time? Talk to me, ladies.
Well, it, it could be the time that both of you are ready to handle dealing with it, whereas before you were mature enough.
Okay, it could be time. That is correct. That's a very good answer. Why else might the Lord say, not this time. Don't ignore it this time.
Because sometimes if it's something that's going to keep repeating and repeating, it can get bigger and stronger until it just drive a wedge between you.
Oh, yes, look at you. That is correct. That is correct. Sometimes the Lord say, oh, no. You got to address this. Because if you don't, it's going to be a bigger problem later. And guess what, y'all? That's easy for some people, harder for others. Y'all know that, right?
Absolutely.
Some people, they ain't got no problem confronting. Okay? They gonna have a hard time with step one.
Let it go.
You follow what I'm saying? You follow what I'm saying? They gonna have a hard time with heart preparation because they ready to pop off. Pop. Let them get them straight in a moment. Pop. That's their personality. That's how they are. They deeper. Don't nobody mess with them. Step one is gonna be their hard part. Then you're gonna have those other people. They don't like conflict. They don't like it. They rather not deal with it. Guess what? When it's time to lovingly confront, they're gonna have a hard time. They're gonna have a hard time. But they have to follow through and do it. They have to follow through and do it. If God said, do it, they have to follow through and do it. So, what does scripture say about that? Lovingly confront. Ephesians 4:15, speaking the truth in love. Okay. Speaking the truth in love, we will in all things grow up into him who is the head, that is Christ. Yes. Okay. Now remember, I want you all to look at the scripture on your own. All right. Ephesians 4:25 through 27 talks about You know, speak truthfully to your neighbor and don't give the devil a foothold. You know, that's Ephesians 4:25, 26, 27. Great passage. Okay. On on conflict resolution. And then of course Proverbs 12 and 18 talks about reckless words, and reckless words pierce. Okay. But wise words bring healing. I love that passage. Reckless words pierce like a sword, but wise words bring healing. So here it is. It's a loving confrontation. That's when you prayed about it and God said, no, you need to address this, because if not, it's going to be a bigger situation later on. Now, be careful with loving confrontation. And I think you said that earlier, Sister King. This is the one that you pointed out. Timing could be everything. Okay.
Mhm.
Do not loving confront when the timing is not good. Okay. Here are some things that you may want to stay away from when it's not a good time to try to resolve conflict. Right. One or both people are hungry. The anger levels are still very high. Not a good time to resolve conflict. Both people are distracted, or one of the persons are distracted. Don't try to resolve conflict. Or one or the other are super tired. Now, here's what I want to tell you all. The scripture says, do not let the sun go down while you're angry. And a lot of people think that means it has to be resolved today. Conflict started today, it's got to be resolved today. That formula don't fit though. Okay? If they both super tired, what should they do? What should they do, Sister King? They both super tired. What should they do? They're in the middle of this conflict and they both super tired.
Get some rest and pick
Yes.
it up on tomorrow.
Yes. Yes. That is correct. That's what God would have you to do. If you're super tired and you keep talking about this thing, what's going to happen, Sister Knighton?
If they're super tired and they keep talking, it's gonna end up going bad. It's gonna go the
It's
wrong
going to
direction.
keep getting worse. More than likely, it's going to keep getting worse. So you want to be at your best when you're trying to resolve conflict. You want to be
One
at
of
your
the
best.
things, one of the things that happened during when we were talking when I was talking with the couple is she didn't like dealing with her way of dealing with confrontation was if something bad happened, she just literally just kind of threw it out the window. It happened. She tossed it to the side. She keep going like, okay, we recognized it. We had our little words, and let's move on. But he was on the stance that they really hadn't talked about it to find a resolution to it. So he couldn't shut that door until they talked about it and had a resolution. She didn't want to come back. She didn't want to talk about it. She felt like we've already talked about it. I want to move on, like let it go, and then it was in her mind, he was just holding grudges. In his mind, she wasn't taking it serious. The resolve was to schedule a time to come back to it once they kind of came to settled down and came to a place where they could communicate about it and deal with it at a time where they could both focus on it and thoroughly deal with it. Does that make sense?
Well, listen, I think they got to find a happy medium there, because I don't think either one of those are totally wrong. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I can see where there are some things where they probably need to just keep it moving. And then I can see where his point of view, where we need to talk about this. So if I was you and their counselor, I would counsel them to pray for wisdom, you know, for wisdom about those things that they can keep it moving on versus those things that they really need to talk out. And I would try to get them to see that neither person is all the way right or all the way wrong, you know. And I think that's what happens with couples. They get into these I win, you lose situations, and they get in
Right.
that mindset. We got to get them out of that mindset, you know,
Right.
because there is a way for both people to win. And they got to get into the habit of looking for win-wins.
Mhm.
And the only way that happens is compromise, you know. And I love what you just said about, okay, here's another big one. You got to teach them how to take a time out, okay? You got to teach couples how to take a time out, all right? Sometimes they need to just, if it's getting too heated, table that, come back to it later. Okay? They need to learn how to do that. Now here's the biggie with taking the time out. Whoever calls the time out, they need to be the responsible party to call time in. You can't say, that makes sense?
Yes.
Let me call time out. We'll talk about it tomorrow. And then I give you the time out, but then you never come back to want to talk about it. So whoever takes the time out, they got to be the responsible one to come back to the table, to initiate, if you will. So that is huge as well. All right, so the last step in closing the loop is rebuilding the trust. Okay? Oh, shoot. Okay, so that's your last step. In order to really close the loop and resolve a conflict that needs to be resolved, they have to be able to rebuild trust. Okay? And that is probably the hardest thing of all. I think as you go around and you're trying to close this loop, each step gets harder. Okay, I really do believe that because rebuilding the trust is a very difficult thing to do, especially when somebody's been hurt really bad, and you gotta get them to understand that. And there's no time limit on it. You know, the person who's been hurt, you know, the other person who's trying to rebuild the trust, they may have been trying to win the person's trust back for 2 weeks, and they may say, "Well, I've been good for 2 weeks. Why are you still angry, or why you still don't trust me?" Well, it's a time thing. Nobody can put a timetable on that, you know. So that's a hard one, to be able to win somebody's trust back. And you can't tell them you should trust them by now. They have to be able to work that out in their own mind. Okay. So that is closing the loop. All right. It's like a Bible study, very convicting. If you have a couple in front of you, I would suggest you, especially if they have a history of conflict and hurt feelings, share the scripture with them. Well, make sure you share the scripture with them. Let the scripture prick their hearts. Okay. That's how I would suggest that. Now, the other one is being able to make a decision, and there's a video for that in your resources. Our couple, what's the couple name that we studied on the Preparing Rich? I can't think of that name right now.
Daniel and Marie?
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Daniel and Marie had to make a decision about where they're going to live next. Okay. And they could not make the decision. And then Dr. Olson took them through the 10 steps of making a decision. Okay. And I want you guys to be familiar with those 10 steps, very practical steps. I want you to watch the video. It's in your resources, okay? It's in your resources. Watch that video, all right? And then we'll come back and we'll talk about it the next time, okay? But know the 10 steps of resolving conflict. I think it could be better said as 10 steps of making a decision, okay? That's what I think it could be better stated. 10 steps of making a decision, all right? So you got two models for resolving conflict. You got your closing the loop, and then you got making a critical decision, okay? Those are two activities that you can use with couples, getting them to understand and teaching them the skill of resolving conflict. All right, any questions on that? All right, so let's see. So what you all should still be working on is your annotated bibliography. You're still working on that. You're still writing your reflection summary for your prepare and rich activity if you have not done that yet. Okay. You are watching the video, conflict resolution video. You all know where to find that in your resources, right? On the
You're talking
page,
about what you just told us about the decision one?
what I just told you about, how to make a critical decision. Okay. So those are the things that you're working on this week.
Dr. Young, somebody called me. So I was double doing. You said something about the critical decision.
So there's a video.
Uh-huh.
It is our couple. I can Daniel and Marie. Okay. So Daniel and Marie was stuck. They could not make a decision about where they were going to live next.
Mm-hmm.
And they were stuck. Conflict. Dr. O took them through the process of how to make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you all to watch that video. It's in your resources. So you log in on your page, go to your resources, training resources. It's going to say PowerPoint and videos. Okay. I think it's like video number 4, I believe, 4 or 5, but it'll be clearly stated. Conflict resolution. Okay. Do you have yours up, Sister Knight? Are you looking at it right now?
No, sir, I was taking notes.
Oh, okay. All right. So yes, I want you all to watch that video. It's a 10-minute video, about 9 minutes or something. It's about a 10-minute video. Take some notes on it, and then you have 2 tools that you can work with couples. One is on the heart. That closing the loop is all about heart. You got to listen, there's so much you can get into with that closing the loop. Do not go quickly on the forgiveness piece. Okay. Don't go quickly by that, ladies. That is huge in relationships. Okay. Talk to them about the importance of forgiveness. Okay. Talk to them about being assertive when they have a conflict but doing it in a loving way. Talk to them about not just popping off without having prayed before they just go responding to a situation. And then finally, man, that rebuilding the trust, you just don't know how long it'll take. You just don't know. Yes, ma'am.
I am looking at it now. Would it be the one that says working with conflicted and devitalized couples?
That is not the one. That's for couples who are in deep, deep crisis. Okay.
Okay, so you're saying that it should be labeled conflict resolutions. I'm looking up under training resources. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Facilitated report. I don't see anything that specifically gives or is in the heading that has to do with conflict resolution.
Right.
You
I
see
looked as
training and
well, and
huh?
I didn't see it. I didn't see it either. I saw what she just asked you about.
Okay, well, let me go ahead and show it to you right here, ladies. Okay, so are you all able to get to this page right here? Oh, and I'm sorry. I keep forgetting to share my screen. I am so sorry, y'all.
Yeah, that's where I went.
Y'all at this, okay, so you want to go here. Y'all see that right there?
Hold on. Workshop resources, get started. Oh.
You see PowerPoint and video clips?
Okay, so I got there from the main page. I went to ongoing training. Is that correct?
Let me see. I went to workshop resources. Let me see. I'll tell you what. Share your screen. Let me see what you're looking at.
Hold on.
Share yours. Let me see what you're looking at. Okay, so
I went here.
Yes,
Is that wrong?
yes. No, you're on the right place. And then resource. Yeah, there you go. Training videos and documents. Click
right,
that.
but I didn't see. Okay, and this is what I see.
Let's see. Let's see. Overall commitment, scope, next steps, working with step family, scope, couple family map, standard. Let's see. Type. Yeah, they don't have that one on there.
Well,
They don't
that's
have, I have to send you all the link, okay?
okay.
I'll send you all the link. Let me see something.
Let me ask, because I went under ongoing. What did I go under? Ongoing training.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I went.
And then it said showed that certified that what you were trying to get to. Yes, I seen it there.
You
Where?
found
But
it?
it's yes, I did. Let me
Certified.
hold on. Let me go back. Okay.
Well, let me get out and then you share.
Okay. Let me see.
I guess I'm trying to get out. Stop sharing. Okay.
Okay. Now y'all gonna have to walk me through the sharing. Hold
That's
on.
okay. Go down to the bottom.
Okay. Oh, with the video.
Green button, I believe it may say share screen or something like that.
Okay, hold on. Let me make my screen bigger. Yes. Okay.
And just click that button.
Share. Mhm.
Yeah.
Can y'all see it?
Yep.
Okay, so when I went back, I went into the managed couples. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to make it to where I can
That's
see.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, ongoing training.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was under. And then the resources right there, right?
Yep.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah.
And then where you said you
It went
found.
to what yeah, well, I thought it went further. It's just that conflicted.
So I'll share with you all the videos. How about that? The video. I'll send it to you. Let me see.
Sounds good.
See something. Let me see something. Let me see something now. I thought it was gonna give me a link, but yes. Yes, I will download it and then send it to y'all because I want y'all to watch it over the next week. Okay.
Let me ask you something. Like you have like a different version than us. Like if they upgrade or modify this board, this portal, do does it upgrade across the board, or do you have to like re-download, or that's completely that's different? You have to start over from scratch.
Is
So
it just for trainers?
I think that's what it is. I think I got a training dashboard.
Oh, you got the master's copy. You got the teacher copy. You got the teacher's copy.
I got a training dashboard. Y'all got the certified dashboard now. Y'all, y'all got the certified dashboard. So let me download that video and I'll include a link so y'all can look at it. It's a 10-minute video. Okay. So that's what y'all have a very, very good Easter weekend.
Thank you.
Yes.
You as well.
When is our last class date, Dr. Young?
So let's see.
In April. Second of
Yeah.
April.
It's 26.
Of April?
Yep,
So
because the 3rd is like final exam week. And you know, you all are going to be submitting a paper instead of final exam. Does that make sense?
It'll make more sense if you tell us what kind of paper.